What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. While we have the keys to the 2022 Nissan Frontier Pro-4X for the week, we decided to swing through Randy Marion Chevrolet to put it head to head with the 2022 Chevrolet Colorado ZR2 to see how these two trucks compare. To start off with, underneath the hoods of both of these trucks, over on the Colorado ZR2, you're gonna find a 3.6 liter 6-cylinder engine. This engine pumps out 308 horsepower with 275 pound-feet of torque. And then over on the Nissan, we get a little bit larger engine measuring in at 3.8 liters, and it is also a 6-cylinder. We get 310 horsepower and 281 pound-feet of torque. So nearly identical horsepower and just a tad bit more torque on the Nissan. So it's going to be very interesting to drive these since they are nearly the same as far as power. As far as off-road capabilities, since the ZR2 and the Pro-4X are the most off-road focused versions of these trucks, approach angle on the ZR2 is 31.8 degrees, while on the Nissan it is 32.3 degrees, so slightly better on the Nissan. Looking at breakover angle on the Chevy, we're at 23.4 degrees, while it's 23 over on the Nissan, and then ground clearance is 10 inches on the ZR2. It is noticeably a taller truck, while it's only 8.7 on the Nissan. And then departure angle on the Pro-4X is 23 degrees, while it is 23.3 degrees over on the ZR2. So very, very similar off-road capabilities. One thing I'll notice on the Nissan, you get a set of Bilstien shocks, which are gonna do a great job off-roading. It's a really good system to have. However, on the ZR2, you get a much more upgraded set of shocks. They're multimatic, and you can see the remote reservoirs. So the Chevy definitely takes it up a notch as far as the suspension. So on to the exterior styling now with both of these trucks. Obviously the looks are going to be subjective. I think both trucks look really cool. On the ZR2 you have a massive grille with a really aggressive design for all the mesh. I love how you see the red tow hooks as well as a skid plate down below. And it's kind of crazy how we also have red tow hooks on the Nissan and of course a skid plate down below. Really nice grille setup on the Nissan with red on the Nissan logo. Then I like how Frontier is stamped into the grille. I do like the headlights a lot better over on the Nissan. They're LEDs with LED daytime running lights. I think the Chevy's headlights look a little old. They do have projector beam headlights, but kind of nothing special the way they're designed. The hood on the ZR2 looks really cool and aggressive. I love that design. The Nissan's is kind of normal. So both front ends I think equally look pretty cool. They of course work with the style and the brands that they are. Moving to the side profile, you can see how everything looks over on the ZR2. You can tell you do have quite a bit of a lift kit over a stock Colorado with just how much gap there is from the wheel to the fender. I do like the tire and rim setup. I think it's a really cool design for it. You get the black plastic fender flares. Pretty nice looking truck overall. Coming over to the Nissan, you still get a set of the black fender flares, which makes sense. You know, this truck is going to be off-roading. So of course you don't want the body color to get all chipped up. You also have a really cool set of wheels. I don't know which wheel I like better. I think they both really fit the trucks. Side profile looks just as good. I do like the optional bar back here on the bedside. We get a really large Pro-4X badge. Then if we check out the rear ends of both of the trucks, I really like how we have Frontier stamped. We have the Nissan logo with red accents and the Pro-4X. The taillights also look really cool, and I like the fender arches. You can see how they bulge outwards for the rear and in the front. So good looking truck overall. The rear end of the Chevy, I will dock that a point just because I don't think it's as sporty looking. Looks a little bit more basic with just basic looking taillights and the Chevy stamped into the back. So I think the Nissan looks better from the back. Both look equally aggressive up front, but I like the hood better over on the Chevy. Moving to the interiors, the door panel on the Chevy, you can see how it looks. There's really nothing special about it. It's all plastic and rubber. So kind of basic, I would say. All your controls, a little bit of chrome right there. We have some power controls and manual controls for the seats. Just solid black leather along the seats. I do like the headrest embroidery. Looks kind of like a Camaro, so that's pretty cool. Taking a look at the steering wheel, not too bad. Finished in black leather. We have all your controls on the left and right. We have four-wheel drive controls over on the left and some trailer settings above that. Moving over to the dashboard, you can see the touchscreen system. Kind of basic on the interior, I will say. Everything is plastic. Nothing is kind of exceeding what you would expect. It's just kind of a basic interior. It's not bad looking, I will say, but certainly nothing too special. Moving over to the Nissan, I think Nissan does do a better job for the interior. Door panel has a cool vinyl texture right here with some padding and stitching. You get the same texture here. You still get some basic plastic, but at least it does have a little bit more cool design. You have like a carbon fiber look right there in vinyl, Fender audio system, and then a really cool set of seats with stitching, the carbon fiber look, stitching all up it with Pro-4X. So Nissan definitely takes the win for the interior. You get that same vinyl design over here, a massive screen, and then you have all the controls down below. And then a similar center console, a little bit more space on the Nissan. And then you can see the steering wheel does look a little bit cooler. And then we have all the four-wheel drive controls over on this right side, and on the left side of the steering wheel, you'll have a few more controls. Moving to the rear seat space in the Nissan Frontier, I'm 5'11". I have about an inch of headroom. The ceiling does dip upwards to give you that little bit better space. I have the driver's seat set at my height, and I have about 2 or 3 inches of space. We do have cargo area in the backside. Then we have some USB ports and other auxiliaries. There are no air vents back here. Armrest is in a pretty good place, and then we do have a center armrest and 2 cup holders right there, and then a manual sliding rear glass. So pretty nice back here. The only drawback is the backrests are a little straight up, so maybe an hour is the max I'd want to be back here, but we do also get quite a few grab handles, make it a little bit more convenient. And then on to the ZR2 sitting back here. Headroom is about the same, I would say. You got the same dip in the ceiling. And then with the seat set at my height, have about the same knee room. The backrest seems to be slightly better. It's slightly more reclined, so it's a little bit more comfortable. You have a nice little armrest, same windows and everything, manual sliding rear glass. You also get an armrest down here with 2 cup holders in it. So both are pretty similar. You do get USB ports and a little bit of storage in the center. This one is just a little bit more comfortable, and then you do get 1 grab handle on the ceiling and then nothing on this B-pillar. So moving on to the bed space of each of these trucks, they do have the soft open and lockable handles. Moving over to the Nissan. So the Nissan gets a little bit smaller bed. This is a 4'10" length bed. It is all sprayed with the liner and everything. You do get 3 aluminum channels to have a ton of tow hooks, tie downs, all that good stuff. You have power outlet over on the right side. So nice roomy bed. The fender arches aren't really too much in the way, so you can get a good understanding of the sizing of this. And then on the ZR2, this bed is slightly longer at 5'2". We also have the spray and liner. Fender arches are not really in the way either. We have tow hooks, so you can use some tie downs. There's no channel on this, and it doesn't look like you could easily add one unless these are pop off and somehow you add something. But the way they sit right now, you are gonna get a little bit more space over in the Chevy. All right, so setting off now in the Nissan Frontier Pro-4X. Let's get up to some speed. So we have a 9-speed automatic transmission in this truck. I think it does a really good job utilizing all of the power, so I really like that aspect. It's coming into a sharper turn, brakes do a good job, and the steering is nice and heavy. Pretty direct. You can easily navigate the truck. I like that aspect a lot. The suspension and everything is nice and comfortable. The Bilstiens, of course, are going to do a really good job. So overall ride quality, this is a nice truck to cruise in. I have no complaints there. I do really like this interior. It's really easy to navigate the whole screen, and then all the buttons and everything are simple. When you are at slow speeds, we have 360 top-down view camera. We have front view camera, rear view. You can just press the camera icon right there, and it would pop up, of course, at slow speeds. But this truck has that sort of technology. We have blind spot alert, radar cruise control, and all that sort of thing. So this truck is pretty darn loaded. I like that aspect. So if I come up to a stop, I'll go ahead and tap that camera button when we come to a full stop. And you can see we have the front view right there and then the top down. So that is a huge plus on the Nissan for sure. And then getting back up to some speed. Pretty good sounding V6 as well. Transmission seems to shift really well too. It doesn't like hunt for gears or anything like that. So really no complaints. You know, I think Nissan did a great job. It's a good riding truck. Looks nice in here. The fit and finish feels really good as well. All right, so setting off now in the ZR2, we get an 8-speed automatic transmission. Seems to rev out just about the same on the Nissan. I will say, to knock this car a little bit, we have turnkey rather than push button start. So it's kind of weird how a 2022 doesn't have that. And then like I said earlier, the interior's not quite as nice in this. It's a little bit more basic. Chevy could definitely stand to update the whole interior on the Colorado, like we've seen on quite a few of their other trucks. Steering is a lot lighter in this truck. Power-wise, it seems pretty similar. This seems a little bit laggy compared to the Nissan though. And then as far as comfort, the suspension is a little bit harder feeling, and I don't think the steering is actually quite as direct. And then the seats, they're not completely powered. We do have manual recline. Visibility in each truck is about the same. I can tell I'm higher up, so that is a benefit with this truck. It's a little bit taller. Then overall, just normal driving, still pretty comfortable on a nice normal road. You don't have any fancy camera systems or anything like that. I don't think we have radar cruise control or anything like that as well. So then getting back up to some speed. Yeah, definitely a firmer suspension setup. So I think honestly the Nissan has a lot more to offer in a lot of aspects. I think it rides a little bit softer, a little bit more comfortable, much nicer interior. This truck though has a much more comfortable rear seat space and a larger bed. So if you're going to use this for utility, you have that benefit. And then this one does have a much more fancy upgraded set of suspension with those remote reservoirs versus just the normal Bilstiens, which is still an upgraded suspension. So they each do have some pros and cons, but I think the Nissan does have a few more pros versus the Colorado. All right, so there is a quick drive in the two trucks. So overall opinions comparing the ZR2 to the Pro-4X. I think exterior-wise, they both look really sporty and pretty cool. They have a lot of cool off-road focused design themes, so I like both of them the way they look. If you look over at the Chevy now, the interior definitely needs to be updated. It's nothing special, it's just all plastic stuff, nothing really too fancy. The Nissan's interior is really nice, definitely outshines the Chevy. The rear seat space, however, the Chevy has a lot more room. It just feels more comfortable to sit back there. The Nissan feels slightly cramped just because the backrest is a little bit too straight up and down. And then the bed is slightly smaller on the Nissan, a little bit more space in the Chevy. As far as driving the two, while you get the cooler suspension with the reservoirs on the Chevy, it's actually kind of a firm ride. And I feel like if you're off-roading, you might not get as good as articulation as you're gonna get with the Bilstiens over on the Nissan. But I would like to see like a 1-inch lift from factory with the Pro-4X. I think that would have been a nice touch because you can already tell how much taller the Chevy is. So I do like the added ride height. As far as power and transmissions, both feel pretty much the same. They both make about the same power and they both have pretty good transmissions. The turnkey on the Chevy though, they got to update that to push start. So overall, I think the Frontier Pro-4X does outshine the ZR2 in a few more categories than where the ZR2 outshines the Pro-4X. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Comment below, what do you like better, the Nissan Frontier Pro-4X or the Chevrolet Colorado ZR2? Both would definitely be fun to hit some trails with. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and smash that subscribe button. Stay tuned for plenty more content, and we'll see you guys in the next video.